Chico.
Am I small? I'm small.
Niente tipo una nostra. Hapa nyuma yako.
Markus? Was für mich? Leg los.
Ja.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, dear Metanauts. After a rocking start yesterday with DJ Celeste and her live DJs, I would like to welcome you to the second day of our X Hour. I'm Thomas. I'm founder and CEO of an agency called VM People. And our focus is on new immersive forms of storytelling. X Hour is an experience taking place on the sidelines of this year's by Southwest in Austin, and is brought to you by Immersive X and Innovation Bridge Europe. I am very happy. So many of you here today because today's session is dedicated to a particularly important topic, one that affects us all, and is personally close to my heart. It's about the critical question of how immersive technologies such as XR, VR, or AR can help to make our world a bit of a better place. Today, you'll meet a man who's both to empower people through technology, making a huge impact on the lives of many people every day. His name is Paul Simon Wayaki, and he's the founder of Africa VR Campus and Center. His talk Immersive X last November was one of my personal highlights. Afterwards, Paul asked me to always reserve a seat for Africa project, and I can tell you that it was really easy for me to comply with his request. For this X hour, we reserved not just one seat for him, but several. And I'm very delighted that he has brought some of his partners and students with him today. Ladies and gentlemen, dear Metanauts, give him a warm emoji applause, and please welcome Paul and his great team.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Thomas.
Hi, Paul.
Asante.
High five.
Asante. Thank you. Yeah, Paul Simon Wayaki, Africa VR Campus and Center for Africa and for the children of Africa. That's why we are here. As you can see, our primary goal has always been VR for social change. Shortly, I'm going to introduce in the crowd our students, my associate director, Diana Jerry, who is also the director of XR Girls Africa, and also in the crowd, the very first person who stepped in our event back in Austin, back in 2019, Edward from Montreal, Canada. He was the very first to pop in our events, and he is here with us today. So I'm very happy because they remind us of where we have come from and where we are also headed. Our NPO, Africa VR Campus and Center, is primarily set for VR for social change or VR for social good, if you want to call it that. Because our main priority is to bring virtual reality to the young people of Africa and to show them that which is viewed from across the world. We have done so much, and some of it, our students will be here to talk about it. They will be here to say every little thing we've done, every little corner that we've managed to go to, and over 2,500 Africans who have now been touched by VR, and they are now ready to do changes in the metaverse. First and foremost, my associate director, Diana Njeri.
Hello everyone. My name is Diana Njeri. I am the Associate Director of Africa VR Campus and Center, and also the Director of XR Girl Africa. And it's such a beautiful moment and a great opportunity for us to be here today. Thank you.
And our dear students, Africa VR Campus and Center student, come forward. Nice, thank you very much. Starting with Nyambura, introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, I'm Nyambura Lucy from Nairobi, Kenya, a student of the Africa VR Campus and Center, and we are glad to be here at this X hour. Thank you.
And we have Mushai, Metaverse Mokorino.
Hi everyone, I'm Margaret Mushai, or the Metaverse Mokorino, and I'm proud to be here and welcome you all. Thank you.
And we have Agnes.
Hi everyone, I'm Wanjiru Agnes from Nairobi, Kenya. I'm a student at the Africa VR Campus and Center. I'm very glad to be here, meeting new people. Yes.
And next we have got Chico.
Hello everyone, I'm Shiko Agnes from Mwimuto, Kenya, a student at Africa VR Campus and Center, and I'm so happy to be here, meeting new people. Yeah, thank you.
Then we have the Islam represented by Zainab.
Shikamo, I'm Zainab Miraho from Wangigi, Kenya, and I would like to personally thank the Immersive X for inviting us here. And yeah, welcome all. Thank you.
Thank you for everyone. Let's get on with it. Since 2016, when I logged in a Samsung Gear VR for the first time, and I experienced an app called Playtime long before Allspace was there, I became the first African in the Metaverse. That time we never even used to call it Metaverse. We used to call it VR. And I was just, the reason why I had bought a Samsung Gear VR is to recover a lost boyhood dream of being an astronaut. And all I thought the VR could do was to immerse yourself in 360 videos. And soon I realized I could be in a room with other people. And above and beyond that, I also realized that YouTube VR, for example, have got educational videos that I could take to students who are in high school and who cannot have microscopes in their schools. And by the way, what schools are we talking about? If we scroll back a few slides back, you realize that some of these schools are, look at that school, for example. No roof, no walls, just seats outdoors. And somebody asked me, how did you use the VR headset outdoors? Well, we know very well that using a VR outdoors can be hectic. You switch off the Guardian and you'd go under the shade of a tree. As long as you're watching videos, it's not that hard. And that's what we used to do at that time, to make these students experience virtual reality with the help of the sciences that are available to us. You can imagine learning about plant and animal biological cells without actually seeing them. And the teacher have to draw them intricately on the blackboard. And so we realized that the VR can do a very good job in showing that. And not only that, after that, back in 2019, I went viral and I started going across any place that I could go to train virtual reality for free, with one condition. I gave myself one condition, that we do it for free, so that we can access as many people as we can, so that we can bring as many Africans as we can, so that the seat will be reserved for many. So for example, last time when we did the Immersive X, I was all alone, but today we are many. We have brought in the students with us. And if you realize, nobody showed them how to walk around. They know how to walk around the space. And they can also tell you a thing or two about DALI, BARD, any form of AI, whether it's image generating AI. So it's not just the metaverse. Now we have gone a step further to, to talk about what the metaverse can do for us. And when we say social change, what do we mean? We mean that if Diana thinks about helping the boys in her neighborhood, she can bring that project and present it right here in the metaverse. And the people who are aligned with those sustainable development goals can align with what she is doing, and they can, instead of flying all the way from New York or Bali to come to Nairobi, you could save that money and actually add it onto the project, and instead have the presentation brought to you right here in the metaverse. And with that, you can actually fund it from where you are. You don't need to fly all the way here. We have realized that the United Nations, for example, waste a lot of money paying for flights and all of that. And they do so little on the ground. So we are challenging the narrative just using the virtual reality. Another reason is because in the beginning, there was a lot of gatekeeping. Nobody knows where Africa is. Nobody can tell what Africans are doing. But in the metaverse, if I bring my project here, I don't need anyone to speak for me. I don't need anyone to present it for me. I can present it myself from the ground, and people can understand exactly what you are doing here in the ground. And they don't, there is nobody between me and the world out there if I so want to present what I have. And so, other than that, we offer VR headsets to community leaders so that they are able to do their projects. So we led them the VR headset. After we trained them for free, we also give them the headsets so that they can continue experimenting them at home. So you can see a lot of pictures here with, doing those kind of, giving away of the headsets. And these girls, as you see here, they have not just been hearing from me. No, they have been hearing from Thomas, who is in Germany. They have been hearing from this is Benazil, who was actually calling in from New York during this day, and she's a world-renowned Philippine street artist. And she was talking to them. They have heard from SpaceX staff. They have heard from people from across the world who have talked with them. The other day, they talked with a world-renowned broadcaster, and who came and recorded their story. And at this point, I would like to say that VR has also taken me to spaces I would have never been if I had not come to VR. I now work with Virgin Galactic Executive. You can see me. This one is Oasis Africa, which is Omni Africa Space Exploration and Analog Simulation. These guys came all the way from the office of the Vice President of the USA, and I did a lecture on that. I have lectured Harvard University. I've lectured Mercer University and many local universities, all because I made my voice known or heard in the metaverse. But girls, as much as I want, I cannot tell this crowd exactly what you felt when you began learning about virtual reality. Can any one of you say what they experienced in the very beginning of VR? The very first time Diana and I came to you. Can anyone talk about that?
Yes, Paul. I remember the first day I saw you. It was in the school I was studying in, that is Shura Secondary School. Personally, in our school, we never knew about technology. So when I saw Paul, I just ignored it, yeah, because our teachers never bothered about technology. It was just about books, books, books. So after I finished high school, that was when our principal, Mr. Njoroge, called us, and there we met our associate director, Diana Njeri, and she gave us a date on when
Diana, would you pick up on that and maybe tell us a little bit of that
Yes.
experience? By the way, this Kenya,
Yeah.
we are in Africa, can pop off anytime, but we will be coming back. Internet is still a thing here, and it's actually raining
Yeah.
as we speak, so the storm can distract the feed. So that's allowed. So go ahead, Diana.
So as Zainab was talking about me meeting them for the first time, and we were in a certain room, myself and this girl, and I was telling them what VR is all about and what they can do with it. And at first they didn't get it, they just sit there and listening, getting, what this was all about. And I knew we have to show them the headsets, because at the end of the day, it's not just about talking. If you go to a remote school area or to a place where, students or pupils have never seen a headset, and talk about, headset in the metaverse, they won't understand. So you have to carry a headset, with, so that they can actually see what you're really, and get themselves, immersed in different environment in virtual reality. And that's what we did. I remember this one time for we met them together, and we had the headset. We put them, we put the headset on their heads, and I just can't explain their facial expressions. Some of them really wanted to run away, because of the things that they chose to see. Some wanted to see elephants in a national park. Some wanted to see space and International Space Station. Some wanted to see various planets. And I was so happy when they got to experience that, because it was their first time actually to see a planet in the virtual reality. It means you don't have to be in a in a fancy school to pay trips to go to space. You can actually put a headset on and voila, be in space and see anything that you want to see. So yeah, I think Zainab's back.
Yes. So I was saying that when Diana and Paul came to us that day, we were like, "What are these machines? They are used only to play games." But Paul had a totally different view of these machines. So we were given the opportunity to try. Personally, after I've tried the headset, I had this headache. I think even the girls who tried it with me that day felt the same.
Yes,
Right?
Zainab.
It's true.
Yeah, sure.
But when Paul showed it to us, we were like, wow, wow, wow. This is such a great thing. We got to that's where we started our metaverse journey. And that day we learned so many things I've never like seen on earth. So it is just a great experience, and that's why we are trying to even help the people in our community to get to learn about the metaverse. Yes, and when we started the metaverse journey, we started with the Girls Team Institute. That was actually our first metaverse program.
now. It's because don't forget, even if their mothers wanted, it will be a tall order to make that trip. And so we take the initiative. And by the way, today is International Women's Day, and I celebrate you girls because we have done this internationally, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just being on slide 44 for
Thank you.
one.
International Women's Day. Yeah, we have really been able to. Here you can see the Metaverse Mocorino receiving the headset from Los Angeles. And the bite of the pizza, the first time that you bite a pizza, the first time that you take a trip to Nairobi or the capital city, you go to the airport or you're driving across a road, even their mother said, wow, their mothers wondered whether the girls will ever come back or whether they will stay there for good because of the intensity of the trip.
Wait a second.
Yeah, but what would be their hopes for the future? Mushai, if I may call on you, I may talk about where do you want to go from here? And can you tell us your story?
Okay. I remember the first time Paul met my mom and he told her that they are teaching girls. So my mother thought that they are paying for college, and that was not the case. So when I came and found it's metaverse, I was eager to tell my mom because in our religion we don't believe such things exist. So when I told her, she said it's okay. So sometimes I'm afraid to tell people in church because they don't
Thomas,
believe
please
me.
mute yourself.
But as for me, I know these things exist and they are real. So I remember when my dad died, we are 8 children in our home and I am the 7th born. So when I finished my secondary education, I was wondering whether my mom could be able to pay me college since there are younger siblings behind me. And this metaverse really has helped because I have gone to places working as a house help, and men there tends to sleep with me, and I refused and ran away. So if it's not metaverse, I don't know if I will be a prostitute or I'll be a house help. And I thank Paul a lot for that because the economy of Kenya is too high. So you find that the courses that are here in Kenya, it's catering, tailoring. So you find you have to get money to pay for polytechnic to go and do these courses. So you find you don't have job, you don't have what. The small you get, you pay maybe for your siblings' school fees. So I thank the metaverse for how far it has brought us. It's not because that we are perfect, but girls in our society are really suffering because of joblessness. So you find some girls are there in Koinange Street, prostitutes, and they are being mistreated and they are being dragged to be drug users. So if it's not because of Africa VR Campus and Center, maybe some of us here will be prostitutes somewhere. Maybe some of us here will be house helps being mistreated. But Paul made us to be here, and Metaverse has really helped a lot. Yeah.
And by the way, it's good for you to know that it's currently, even if girls will not be going home today, because that's how serious they are bringing you their story. It's going to 9 p.m. in Nairobi, and there is no way they can go home. So they have spent nights at the heart where we teach them this VR, so that they are there to talk to you, to the world, and to give you their own story. And I know Nyambu haven't given us a word. Maybe we can allow her to say something before we go to question and answers. I really didn't want to talk much though. I wanted them to come and give you their own point of view. So as I celebrate women today.
Paul, sorry.
Thank you, Paul, for this opportunity. For me, I would like to say just that we have been in campus for teaching people about these things, the metaverse, the VR. But some of these people always take us for granted as they look at us and see that
these are children. How can they teach us these things even if we don't know them? And some of them are like, wow, I want to know about this thing. I know only they're used for gaming. But for us, we teach them how we can see the other parts of the world. Even if you are in Kenya, you can see the other, like Korea. Some of them will always like to visit Korea and the South Korean. So we were just videoing them about the South Korean videos, and it was just enjoyable. But it was very impressive for some people, but for the others, so they were like, no, this can't be possible, because for us, you have not been in campus. You are just here. You are done with our Form 4 classes, but you are not able to go to the universities because of the money and other resources, So yeah, it's been a long journey with harsh words and encouraging words at the same time through people who support us.
Yes, to add on what Lucy has said, we have been meeting different people from different fields. For example, Dot Cannon, who is the president of Two Mavericks. Also Tom Nicol, who is a part of us. Yes, he is the one who showed us the overview effect in the metaverse, and it was a very such nice experience. And the overview effect was created by Shushu and also Frank White, who is the president of Human Resources. We have also met Holly Bollinger from SpaceX. Yes, she gave us some nice encouragement, which we take them until now. Yes, and we would also like to thank our CEO for the good teachings he's teaching us. We have been doing video editing, generating photos using the photo AI generators, for example, the Midnight Journey and the DALI. Yes, we have learned a lot.
That's beautiful. Just a final word for me is to thank these girls for being very consistent, and if you take these gadgets to young people here in Africa, especially those who don't have jobs, they tend to to get bored because they don't want to try something that is out of their comfort zone. But these girls, as we've had, some of them, the religion did not allow them to study technology, or even to talk about technology. But they step out of their comfort zone, and they are here up to date, and they want to learn more and to meet people in the metaverse, and to interact and to form a community, that will encourage even more girls in Africa to join them. I think they've not mentioned they have been so good in metaverse that they are now hosting their own event. It's an event that happens bi-weekly, in the first Wednesday of the month and the last Wednesday of the month. So if you want to see them and hear about their stories, you can find them in the metaverse, and get in there, encourage them, give them out of encouragement, and hear what they have to say. I love the events because they talk much more about the issues around them, and how they can come up with solutions, to finish, or to make their society a better place. So if you want to meet them, you can come to NHXR every Wednesday, first Wednesday of the month, and the last Wednesday of the month, you'll meet XR Girls Africa telling their stories. So you're most welcome. Yeah.
All right. I know my voice could be a little bit muffled, but can anyone in the crowd have a question for our girls? Is it possible? Does anyone have a question or two? As we come to the winding up of our talk here, anyone with a question or a comment? We also invite comments. And we know we could be live also in Austin. We obviously cannot be able to communicate with the people out there. But
Yeah, if anyone has questions, please step forward to the stage and we can open your mics again.
Maybe I should also invite Edward, who stepped in the very first event that we hosted, to come and say something. Yeah, there you go. Go ahead, Edward.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, your voice is muffled.
Yeah,
I can hardly.
You can say something. You can say something to the crowd.
Oh, okay. I've known Paul for a couple of years now, and since he introduced Africa VR, I started going there, and I found it very fascinating. He told me stories about the politics, stories about different people. He showed the music, which I found very interesting, like that, and then he told me about these girls that he was giving them the VR, which I found very admired by him, like that. So I follow him just to see where this is gonna go, because he's going in the right direction right now with all the things that he's helping out the girls, and kind of interested to see where this is gonna take, what's gonna happen to the girls in the future, like that. And also, like I said, I love hearing stories about Africa. This is my first introduction to Africa, because I forgot to say, I'm Edward from Montreal, Canada. So I really didn't know much about Africa until I met Paul. So he kind of taught me more about Africa than I've ever learned in school. So thank you, Paul. That's it.
Thank you, Edward, for the support. And by the way, maybe I don't know. Am I clear now? Am I much clear?
Paul, you're really muffled. Do you have something in front of your microphone or something like this?
No, I actually have changed my headphones and I'm still muffled. So Diana, can you tell them that it's actually Edward, who has sponsored us today for food and for everything that we're using here tonight?
Yeah, I did get that, Paul. Can you repeat it again, please?
You can acknowledge the funding that we get from our sponsors like Edward and Tom and Claire.
Yeah. Yes. We have friends across the world who have become our family, actually, and they support us in a very big way. I remember when you started your event in our space. You're calling it Tales from Africa, and most of the times I would wonder, okay, now who would come to an event of an African, to hear about, Tales from Africa. And it was so amazing when the past event, people from all over the world, came into that event and they were sharing their perspective and how they thought Africa was, and then Paul telling them how actually Africa is from his experience, and from how, since this is the continent which he's born from, so he has a lot to share and a lot to say. And from that we Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So without thank Tom Nico, who is our associate director. He has been a very good help for us, and always backing up these girls, taking them to experiences in VR for the world. Actually is them to the overview effect. The girls go to see the world from space, and after the girls were like, "Oh my goodness, the world is such a beautiful place. It's a home. We need to take care of it." They started talking about how they can start an organization or a lab where they can be planting trees. So thank you so much, Domenico, for all your support and your donation. Also thank Edward, who has been our guest from day one in our events, and he's always there, no matter the time. No matter the time. The difference in time zone can be a little bit tricky, but Edward has always made it there. So we thank you so much, Edward, for your support, for all your donations. We hope that this bond and friendship continue to grow. We also want to thank Claire Martin, who is not in the crowd, but wherever she is, she's a great support also to the girls. She always come along, give the girls a little bit of words of encouragement, and we really, really, really appreciate that. Also, we want to thank Dot Cannon, the president to Mavericks, for working with us. She empowers so into what we has been supporting us, calling us, tell our story to the world. You're listening to this. We're so thankful for you, and to everyone. Yeah, they have been supportive. But girls, what to do? The taking girls back home is on me. We appreciate you, and we pray, and we this will the same. Thank you all.
I don't know whether Marcus, my voice is better.
Yes.
All right, that's why I had to restart so that I can come and have maybe a closing comment. We are not going to stop there. Whatever we are doing, we are going to do at a larger scale. And beyond that, the reason why I have the passion to come and bring our African stories is because every time I watch Fox News and CNN, I think there's a lot of grave misrepresentation of Africa and its people. That is one thing that I want to challenge the narrative. I also want to challenge the narrative that the big corporations like Microsoft and Meta are doing here in Africa. They come here, they want to use technology the way they want to use technology. And I want us as Africans to use technology the way Africans want to use technology. So that's another thing that I am doing what I'm doing. Let Africa speak for itself, and let Africa present itself in the way that they feel that this is what works for us. And part of our stories is history. Our African Metaverse weekly meetup is always every Thursday on Engage XR. That is usually at 10 p.m. Nairobi. You can come there. It's always a public meetup where we meet new partners, new friends, and almost everyone new who wants to, come and work together with the continent. Right now, like I said, we have clocked over 2,000, people whom we have connected with in VR. And it's up to them whether they want to continue presenting what they are doing in their grassroots level in the metaverse. But for us, we permanently held the girls hostage, and we told them, you will remain here and learn, because they had the passion. We didn't just keep them because for the sake of keeping them, because they had the passion to learn. And we thought the idea of keeping them around and showing them everything, and they learn everything, by the way, from fixing a damaged laptop, fixing a damaged computer. So that is something that is so strange for the girls. Some of their fathers and brothers, sometimes they don't believe that the girls can do that, but we think that is empowering them for the next generation. And so thank you, Immersive X, and everyone who has given us a seat as we continue to work with you until where destiny will take us to. Thank you so much for the love. Thomas, all back to you. Thomas, all back to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys, for coming to X Hour and for sharing your stories. I have to apologize. In the background, it's a little bit loud because I'm in a bar here in Austin, and you probably hear some music in the background. People were following here over a screen, and we're really excited to hear your moving story. And Paul, thanks again for coming. And you are already invited for Immersive X in November, and I hope to see you there so that we can continue our collaboration with Africa VR Center and Campus. Paul, Diana, Mirabo, Chico, I don't know whether I spell or pronounce your names right. Bushai, Niambura. Thanks very much. I have to practice a little bit, I have to admit. Next time I'm a little bit better prepared. Thanks for coming.
Bye. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Zainab, nilikuwa nacheka.